Let me ask you something. On July 31st of last year, when the Toronto Blue Jays sent Will Wagner to the San Diego Padres and received a 25-year-old backup catcher from Hermosillo, Mexico, as the primary return piece in that deal, how many of you circled that transaction on your calendar? How many of you thought, this is the piece that is going to change this franchise? Nobody. The Brandon Valenzuela acquisition was a depth move. A minor league depth move. The kind of transaction that fills organizational catching depth while the real news of the deadline was happening elsewhere. He spent the final stretch of 2025 with AAA Buffalo, posted modest numbers, and entered spring training 2026 as the third catcher on the organizational depth chart behind Alejandro Kirk and Tyler Heineman. His path to the major leagues, if it happened at all, was going to be a slow one. And then Alejandro Kirk fractured his left thumb on April 5th. And everything changed. Ladies and gentlemen, Brandon Valenzuela is now the 7th best rookie in all of Major League Baseball by Fangraphs WAR. He is 8th in all of baseball in caught stealing percentage. His pop time ranks in the 85th percentile across the entire league. His framing is in the 93rd percentile. He has 4 home runs, more than twice what Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has at the same point of this season. He was a throw-in from the Padres deal. He was nobody's plan. And right now, he might be one of the most important players on this entire Blue Jays roster. If you are new to this channel, hit that subscribe button right now because the Valenzuela story is one of the great under-the-radar narratives of the 2026 baseball season and you need to be caught up. Drop a like on the video, leave a comment below telling me what you think happens to Valenzuela when Kirk comes back, and let's build this out completely. Let's start with the numbers, because the WAR leaderboard tells you everything you need to know about how seriously this organization and this fan base should be taking what Valenzuela has done. According to Fangraphs Total WAR, the metric that accounts for every contribution a player makes on both offense and defense, the Toronto Blue Jays team leaderboard currently goes Dylan Cease, Kevin Gausman, Kazuma Okamoto, Luis Verlander, Andres Jimenez, and then right there, tied with Jimenez and Vladimir Guerrero Jr., is Brandon Valenzuela. That is not a bad catcher doing adequate things against weak competition. That is a player who, in fewer than half the games of the players ranked alongside him, is generating equivalent value to 2 of the most decorated position players on the entire roster. And here is the context that makes it even more stunning. Jimenez has appeared in 146 games and Guerrero in 172. Valenzuela has done this in just 69 plate appearances. In half the playing time, generating the same total value. The sample is small, but the efficiency is genuinely off the charts. The defensive profile is where the value is most concentrated, and the StatCast percentile rankings tell a clear story. His pop time, the time from when he receives a pitch to when the ball arrives at second base on a steal attempt, ranks in the 85th percentile across the entire major leagues, per the Yardbarker analysis of his current StatCast data. His pitch framing, which converts would-be balls into strikes by making pitches look better to umpires and reducing challenges through the automated ball/strike system, ranks in the 93rd percentile. His blocking, the ability to keep pitches in front of him and prevent passed balls and wild pitches, sits above average. And his caught-stealing rate of 45.5%, confirmed by Yardbarker, ranks 8th in all of baseball and is more than double Tyler Heineman's current caught-stealing rate of 20%. Every time a base runner tries to steal against Brandon Valenzuela, he is stopping them nearly half the time. That number, if sustained, would make him one of the most valuable defensive catchers in the sport. And the offensive side of the ledger, while not his primary value, has been a genuine and pleasant surprise. 4 home runs in 69 plate appearances. That projects over a full season to more than 25 home runs, which would be extraordinary from a backup catcher on a minimum deal. Now, small sample projections are notoriously unreliable, and nobody is actually projecting Valenzuela for 25 home runs. But what the 4 home runs do prove is that there is legitimate power in this bat that was not showing up in his minor league numbers, because his pre-trade offensive profile with San Diego was modest enough that most analysts pegged his bat as strictly below average. Something has changed about his quality of contact since coming to Toronto. The Blue Jays development staff, the same group that took Dylan Cease and improved his command, that took Kazuma Okamoto and helped him hit breaking balls, appears to have identified and unlocked something in Valenzuela's swing approach. His pull-in-air percentage of 29.3% means he is generating more of the batted ball profile that produces home runs than he ever has in his professional career. He is a boomer-or-bust offensive profile at this stage, but for a backup catcher competing for playing time, the occasional boomer is exactly what you need. The 4 home runs he has hit have gone to 4 genuinely different parts of the ballpark. Left field, left center, right center. You cannot pitch him the same way each at-bat and expect him to be helpless, because he is covering the entire zone and driving pitches to his pull side with a consistency he never showed in San Diego's system. The one legitimate concern on the offensive side is the fastball, where his numbers suggest ongoing difficulty with high-velocity pitches in 2 strike counts, a .125 batting average against fastballs with a -2 run value. Pitchers around the league will figure that out eventually, and when they do, the all-fastball all-the-time game plan will cost him at-bats. The adjustment he needs to make, learning to trust his hands and commit to the fastball earlier in counts, is an addressable mechanical issue, not a fundamental athletic limitation. He has the bat speed. He has shown it. He just needs to be willing to use it on pitches that arrive early and hard. And here is where the conversation gets genuinely fascinating, because Alejandro Kirk is coming. The original timeline of late May is now being confirmed by multiple reporters as still on track following updates from the Blue Jays medical staff this week. Kirk started swinging a bat. He has been throwing regularly. The thumb fracture is healing on schedule. And when Kirk returns, the 2-time All-Star, the elite pitch framer, the .282 hitter with an OPS of .769 and 15 home runs last season, the defensive catcher who ranked in the 100th percentile in blocking last season and in the top 10 for framing, the Blue Jays are going to have to make a decision that nobody anticipated having to make in early May. The simple answer is that Kirk starts every day he is healthy because he is the better player overall at this stage of their careers. That is a defensible position. Kirk's bat, when fully healthy and locked in, is measurably better than Valenzuela's current offensive profile. His framing, while slightly below Valenzuela's in this limited 2026 sample, was at the 90th percentile last season over a full year of work. His blocking was the best in baseball. His game management skills, the ability to quarterback a pitching staff, to set up sequences, to understand how veteran starters like Gausman need to be handled versus how Yesevich needs to be managed, are the product of 8 years of major league experience. Kirk also represents a genuine offensive upgrade when compared to what the Blue Jays' catching position has produced in aggregate this season, with Heineman providing essentially nothing at the plate. Getting Kirk's .769 OPS back in the everyday lineup is meaningful. But here is the harder question that no one seems to want to ask out loud. Is Tyler Heineman the backup when Kirk returns, or is it Valenzuela? Because Keegan Matheson of Sportsnet already said it clearly, Valenzuela just keeps earning more playing time until Kirk is back. Probably beyond that too. And if you look at the caught-stealing differential, Valenzuela at 45.5% versus Heineman at 20%, the defensive argument for Valenzuela as the backup is not close. It is not even a competition. Heineman has a .170 batting average, 0 extra base hits, and a WRC plus of 9, 91% below league average offensively. There is not a single metric, offensive or defensive, by which Heineman is the better option as Kirk's backup. And yet Heineman has no minor league options remaining, meaning the Blue Jays cannot send him to AAA without putting him through waivers and almost certainly losing him entirely. The calculus is painful but clear. When Kirk returns, Tyler Heineman almost certainly gets designated for assignment. He goes through waivers. He may get claimed by a team that needs emergency catching depth. He may not. Either way, the Blue Jays' catching room becomes Kirk and Valenzuela, and frankly, that is one of the best catching tandems in the American League. Kirk's elite defensive profile combined with his superior bat provides the everyday foundation. Valenzuela's elite caught-stealing rate, his improving pop time, his sneaky power, And his ability to frame pitches at the 93rd percentile level provides genuine backup value that can win games on days when Kirk needs rest or on the occasional night when a pitcher specifically benefits from a more aggressive running game approach from behind the plate. This is what a franchise looks like when organizational development is actually working. The Padres thought Valenzuela was worth Will Wagner and very little else. The Blue Jays thought he was worth adding to the 40-man roster to protect him from minor league free agency. And 6 weeks into his major league career, he is the 7th best rookie in baseball by WAR, one of the 10 best catchers in baseball at throwing out base runners, and the most defensively complete backup catcher option this organization has had since the days of Jeff Mathis. Nobody planned this. Nobody predicted this. And right now, with Alejandro Kirk on track to return in 2 weeks, the Blue Jays have what might genuinely be the best catching tandem in the American League sitting in their locker room. The throw-in trade piece just became a cornerstone. That is going to do it for today, folks. Smash that like button right now and help this video reach every Blue Jays fan who needs to appreciate what Valenzuela is doing. Drop a comment below. Does Heineman get DFA'd when Kirk comes back, or does the organization find another way? And is Valenzuela's power real or a small sample illusion? I want every single take. Subscribe if you are not already here and ring that notification bell. Until next time, let's go Blue Jays.